Welcome to Legal Toolkit, bringing you the latest legal trends and business initiatives to help you manage your law firm. With your host, Jared Correia. You're listening to Legal Talk Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the award-winning Legal Toolkit podcast here on the Legal Talk Network. We're also coming to you on video. You see my fancy collared shirt. I'm potentially in need of a lint brush, but we're moving forward. Now, if you were looking for the new season of American Horror Story, it's on FX right now. You should check it out. Watch for some crazy X-Files Easter eggs. Now, if you're a returning listener to this podcast, welcome back. If you're a first-time listener, hopefully you'll become a long-time listener. And if you're Rooster Cogburn, your real name is actually Ruben. Interesting fact. As always, I'm your show host, Jared Correia, and in addition to casting this pod, I am the CEO of Red Cave Law Firm Consulting, which offers subscription-based law practice management consulting services for law firms, bar associations, and legal vendors. Check us out at redcavelegal.com. I'm also the COO of Gideon Software Inc., which offers chatbots, a first-to-market chatbot builder, and predictive analytics, all created specifically for law firms. Find out more at www.gideon.legal. You can also listen to my other podcast. Yes, I do have another podcast. It's called The Lobby List, and it's a family travel show I host with my dear wife, Jessica. That's on iTunes, where you can subscribe, rate, and comment. But here, back on the Legal Toolkit, we provide you twice each month with a new tool to add to your own legal toolkit so that your practices will become more and more like best practices. So in this episode, we're going to talk about advertising your law firm through marketing funnels. But before I introduce today's guest, let's take a moment to thank our sponsors. Abby Connect has delivered premium live receptionist and answering services to lawyers since 2006. You can try them out for free at abbyconnect.com. Scorpion crushes the standard for law firm online marketing with proven campaign strategies to get attorneys better cases from the internet. Partner with Scorpion to get an award-winning website and ROI-positive marketing programs today. Visit scorpionlegal.com/podcast. Nexa, formerly known as Answer One, is a leading virtual receptionist and answering service provider for law firms. Learn more by giving them a call at 800-267-9371 or online at www.nexa.com. TimeSolve is the #1 web-based time and billing software for lawyers, providing solutions since 1999. TimeSolve provides the most comprehensive billing features for law firms big and small. www.timesolve.com. All right. Welcome back, everybody. My guest today is Sam Mollaei. Sam is the owner of Mollaei Law, where he's a business lawyer focused on helping entrepreneurs. In 2013, Sam started his own virtual law firm right after he graduated from law school. That's no small thing. And through his law firm, Sam has helped over 3,000 entrepreneurs. Sam also helps other lawyers to build sales funnels, and that's what we're here to talk about today. Sam is based in Los Angeles. Sam, welcome to the big show.
Thank you so much, Jared.
How are things in LA? Is it hot out there today?
Very good. No, it's always good. I feel blessed to be here. I encourage everybody to visit LA. It's always a good time.
Just don't fly in through LAX because it's the ninth circle of hell. But I digress. All right, so relatively recently, I think you decided to grow a beard, right? At least from my online research, this is what I've found. So who inspires you more to grow your beard? Ulysses S. Grant, Abraham Lincoln, or perhaps someone else?
No, actually my wife.
Really?
So my wife insists on me having a beard. If I touch it, she would get really pissed off. So
that's so weird.
To make her happy, first lesson of marriage, always keep her happy.
Oh, so, without a doubt.
This is my way of keeping her happy.
But usually wives are anti-beard. So your wife is very progressive, I have to say.
Yeah,
it's a very modern woman.
Progressively. Yeah, definitely.
All right, so we've gotten the facial hair conversation out of the way, which is how we start every podcast here, obviously. Can you talk a little bit more about how you started and decided to become a lawyer and practice law, and then how you got into doing this legal sales funnel work that you've been doing with attorneys?
Yeah, so I first started off 5 years ago in employment law, and just like every litigation lawyer, I kind of contemplated, am I doing what I love doing? So I started soul searching, talking to different people, and I actually read a book called The 4-Hour Workweek, a very popular book by Tim Ferriss that talked about how to run an online business, how to kind of create automated and systematized kind of online business to be able to generate customers and for yourself so that you could do what you love. So I got inspired by that book, and I basically went on my own. I created a website called Mollaei Law, and I started learning about online marketing. I did it in the first year. I didn't really have much to do. I didn't know how to do anything, so I literally had to learn everything on my own. And I had a lot of time to get on YouTube, read a lot of blog articles to basically learn how to generate clients online. That was good. I was learning and had something to apply it to. So right away, as soon as I would learn something, I would go apply it to my website. I started basically writing blog articles, started recording videos, and a year later, all that the work that I put in to create content kind of kicked in by Google. By the way, if you guys ever want to know, it takes mine was literally on the calendar date, 12 months. It literally takes 12 months for any content to start ranking and start doing well. So if you do put out any content, don't expect to get any results in the first 12 months. Anyways, I started putting out content, and people started seeing it. And I got to a point where I was getting a lot of phone calls, too many phone calls. It was at a point where I literally couldn't catch up to the number of phone calls, actually. So I went and removed my phone number off my website, and I started applying kind of a virtual law firm kind of model where I wasn't tied into any physical location. I didn't necessarily have a 9 to 5. I basically would create a system for clients to come in, and for those prospects to be able to talk to me through email, and I would basically close them through email. And once I would basically close these clients, then the actual work also would be done virtually, and this whole system would be kind of automated and systematized for it to be replicated over and over. And now I'm 4.5 years in, 3,000 clients served through a couple of different websites, through a couple of different services. I've learned a lot, and I'm hoping to share that kind of knowledge with your audience.
Awesome. And with lawyers generally who you work with as well, I know. So clearly, part of your vision here has been to create web traffic to your sites, various sites as well. So let's talk about some specific traffic building tools. So you utilize Google Ads, Facebook ads, YouTube videos. So can you talk a little bit how law firms can generate web traffic using those 3 applications?
Sure. So it's very important to know when it comes to online marketing, there's literally a million ways and ways to do anything to be able to be successful. But what's really important is you need to apply the 80-20 Pareto principle to everything you do. Especially, you should definitely apply it to everything you do, but especially when it comes to online marketing.
Yeah, can you tell people what that is? I'm not sure. If anybody's listening.
It's a very powerful technique. It's a mindset shift, I would say, more than anything. What the 80-20 Pareto principle says is that 80% of your results comes from 20% of your input. So from whatever, let's just say, let me give you a practical example. 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of your clients. And then at the same time, you could do the inverse. 80% of your time is wasted on 20% of your quote unquote bad clients. So it's just a phenomenon that kind of illustrates itself in reality. And you want to be able to spot those trends, spot those kind of actions. What are those top actions that I could do to give me 80% of my results? So when it comes to traffic, I could give you the 80-20 right now to your audience. It's really Google AdWords, organic content marketing, and videos. So let's talk about videos first, because I think that's the one that's the most practical. It's the one that most lawyers can utilize. Videos are very powerful. At this time, there's no other tool, there's no other way that convinces somebody to do something more than videos. When people see you and they hear you talk, it makes you into a real person. Just the same way that you go and you want to talk to somebody, it's 80-90% the same effect as that. So that's the first thing. Videos, producing videos that you could distribute through different channels, through YouTube, through Facebook, pretty much through those channels and Instagram. The second is Google Ads. Google Ads is a paid on a cost per click kind of basis where you get whatever you pay for. It is competitive, but at the same time, there's a lot of potential that's still left on the table for lawyers. And, it scales out really well just because once you have a funnel you have something that works well, then you could just basically just spend Google Ads money to bring more people to that offer. And then the third is Facebook and Facebook ads. I would not recommend Facebook organic, so don't even waste your time posting things on Facebook organically, but you could use Facebook ads to, again, bring more traffic, more visitors to whatever your offering is.
And so your idea is to use these tools in conjunction, working together as well. This is not just like 3 separate pipelines.
There are 3 separate pipelines, but ideally, obviously, you want to use all 3. But I would say in the beginning, just pick one, the one that you're most comfortable with, the one you understand the most. I would say for lawyers, if you're comfortable with being in front of a camera, do videos. If you're a little more technical, then partner with somebody who knows Google Ads. So it really depends on your style.
And let's talk about another tactic for converting traffic on the web. So part of it is like generating the web traffic. And then it's great to have a ton of web traffic, but you then actually have to convert those folks to clients. So let's talk a little bit about landing pages. So can you speak to the importance of landing pages for law firms and how you use landing pages to actually convert the leads once you get them?
Yeah. So to kind of explain this whole system of funnels, you just have to understand there's 4 parts to it. So the first part is the traffic, which we just discussed. The second part is to capture those visitors and turn them into leads. And you do that with landing pages. Landing pages are very simple, straightforward website pages that are made to turn a visitor into a lead. And what does it look like? It does not look like a homepage. So I see the number one mistake the lawyers make when Google Ads, they're just sending their traffic to a website or your homepage. Avoid that at all costs. So what you need instead is a landing page. It's a designated focused page that's very straightforward. It's a logo, headline, sub-headline, pretty much a button, and maybe some review screenshots. That's it. So you basically use the landing page to direct your traffic, your visitors to this page where you'll be able to capture their name, email address, and maybe their phone number as well. And you want to do that from the get-go of this entire system. If you don't capture the email address, then 98% of people that come on a website just end up leaving. So you want to make sure to get the contact information before they leave. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think most lawyers would definitely point to a homepage rather than a landing page. I think most lawyers don't know they need to create a separate page for this. So that's good advice. And the calls to action are important, right? You need like very simple calls to action that people can execute on.
Yeah, exactly. Very good. Good thing that you pointed that out. Yeah, call to action is very important. On a landing page, the call to action is literally what matters. It's the only thing that matters. So the call to action should be whatever the end result is. So just the easy way, simple way to do it is just answer, I want to blank. So whatever you want the visitors to kind of to answer, that should be your call to action. I want to start my business. So the call to action would be start my business. So say for personal injury lawyer, I want to get my free consultation. So it's whatever the first get is, not, so have that in mind.
Yeah, lawyers are not great at simplicity, as you know. All right, so let's land here for the first segment of the podcast before we get into section 2. Here are some of the things that a reasonable lawyer might consider purchasing, along with the life-size Buzz Lightyear doll. Do you feel like your marketing efforts aren't getting you the high-value cases your firm deserves? For over 15 years, Scorpion has helped thousands of law firms just like yours to attract new cases and to grow their practices. As a Google Premier Partner and winner of Google's Platform Innovator Award, Scorpion has the right resources and technology to aggressively market your law firm and to generate better cases from the internet. For more information, visit scorpionlegal.com/podcast today. If you're missing calls, appointments, and potential clients, it's time to work with Nexa Professional. More than just an answering service, Nexa's virtual receptionists are available 24/7 to schedule appointments, qualify leads, respond to emails, integrate with your firm's software, and much, much more. Nexa ensures your clients have the experience they deserve. Give them a call at 800-267-9371 or visit them at nexa.com/podcast for a very special offer. All right, everybody, thanks for sticking with us. Now that I've located my thong, sandals, get your mind out of the gutter. Let's get back to our conversation with Sam Mollaei of Mollaei Law. We're talking about building marketing funnels for your law practice. We've already talked about building web traffic. We've talked about landing pages. Let's talk about something else that lawyers do poorly: nurture campaigns. I know a lot of lawyers who don't even know what a nurture campaign is. So A, could you describe what that is, since it's maybe a new marketing term for people? So let's start there, and then we'll get into how to build these out.
Sure. So the last part of the funnel, part number 2, was capturing those leads. Now that you captured those leads, what are you going to do with it? So just like in real life, people just don't go from just getting to know you to marrying you. So the same way when it comes to online, all those same rules apply. So you need to build that relationship. You need to show them, hey, you are who you are. You can help them. So that's done through kind of like nurturing. And how do you nurture? It's through content and videos and automated email series. So those are different kinds of ways. So practical level, what do you do? So what you want to do is you want to make sure that your landing page is hooked up to an email marketing drip campaign. There's 2 tools that I recommend for this, either Active Campaign or ConvertKit. I personally use ConvertKit. It's very easy to get up and running. And basically what I do, as soon as the lead is captured on the landing page, they get a series of 15 to 20 emails in the next 6 months that automatically get sent to these prospects that talks about pretty much how I could help these prospects. And then actually something else that I started doing recently, I started adding videos to inside all of those emails. So imagine you get a video, very, very personalized kind of video. It has like a picture of me waiting that says, hey, I know you have these are the top 3 questions that I could answer about this thing that you're looking for. I'll answer for you. So it's pretty much through that automated email series, to content, FAQ, videos, those ways that you can nurture your lead to hopefully turn them into a client.
So you use ConvertKit. I actually use Active Campaign. That's a good product as well. So you're on point as far as that's concerned. And since we're on video, I just want people to know that I found an old Rice Krispie treat on my desk. So I guess I got to clean up afterwards. So let's now segue from Rice Krispie treats to staying in touch. So there's another way to nurture relationships with clients, right? And that is to stay in touch by phone, right? But lawyers are extremely busy. So how can they tie a content-based nurture campaign to being able to communicate with clients via phone in like a fairly regular manner? Like how do you do that as a busy attorney?
Yeah, so keep in mind, the best way to close somebody is to phone. So you always want to get them on the phone. All your nurturing and all your emails, everything should direct them to a phone call, either directly or to a calendaring system like Calendly, like Acuity Scheduling, all those different tools. That you could just send them to a link, say, hey, this is my schedule. Go ahead and book a time to speak to our office here. So you want to make sure to get that set up for your office. And you're going to drive them to pretty much that calendaring page. And then once you get them on the phone, then that's where you could close them, retain them, and do whatever you need to do.
And in your experience, who closes? A lawyer, a staff person? It doesn't matter less in 2019 than it did 10 years ago?
It depends on exactly what you're offering. Ideally, you have the highest chance of closing, but at the same time, you kind of have to balance that with, is that the best use of my time? I would say for most of you guys, yes, but for some of you guys, you could have somebody dedicated who is kind of like a specialist or who's at least does a decent job of being able to actually retain those clients over the phone. It's definitely a leak in a lot of people's funnels where they do a very good job of marketing, but they don't realize your entire success of all the marketing that you do is really reliant on that one person who's picking up the phone call. So make sure that person is doing their job. Make sure that they're keeping track of every lead that comes in. Make sure they follow up. All those things really, really, really matter. And that's honestly, that's one of the biggest problems I've seen. Besides the landing page issue where a lot of people are sending traffic to websites, that's the second biggest issue that I see.
Right. So we're seeing a system round into place. We're generating traffic. We're pushing that traffic to landing pages. We're calling people to get them to convert. That's the call to action. So let's talk a little bit about building the groundwork, right? So before a lawyer even tries to start acquiring referrals and new business from existing clients, especially, how important is it to underscore any selling that you do with like a clear communication of your value proposition?
Yeah. So you need to be known. This is another huge mistake that I see lawyers making, is that you're trying to be the jack of all trades, kind of do everything. I made this mistake myself, and when I started off, I did entertainment and business law. I think that was like the most general thing I could come up with. That was a big mistake. Instead, you want to be known as the, let's say, sexual harassment lawyer or that wage and hour lawyer or that Uber Lyft accident lawyer. Just pick a niche, be known as that one person for that one thing. That way your communication is kind of is streamlined, and also the prospect feels like, okay, I'm talking to somebody who's a specialist at that exact one niche. And it's very important. It's a big mistake. So if you haven't already, apply the 80-20 principle to go back, look at your past year, look at the clients that you had, and analyze what's that one type of clients that I've had the most. Who are the types of clients that I would like working with the most? Who do I want to continue working with? And just pick that one niche and just go forward with that.
So it's not only about getting known, it's getting known in a particular niche. And I think that's very true, but a lot of lawyers overlook that. And you figured that out pretty quickly.
Yeah, you have to. It's a law. It's not like whether you want to or not. If you don't, like, really, I'm telling you guys, I'm sure there's so many of you guys that are hearing this right now. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do it. But I'm telling you, you will not be successful until you pick a niche and just stick with it and make all your marketing and your email signature and your website and everything about that one particular thing, especially when it comes to online marketing and standing out online, since there's so many people that are doing it. So do yourself a favor, please take some action, pick one niche and just stick with that.
Lawyers hate to turn down work. That's the problem. They try to take everything they can get. It's like a new way to practice. Still,
and that's usually the first objection. I'm like, but I want to do. I'm like, that's okay. You could do all those things, but your marketing and everything should still be about one thing.
I think that's a good place to end this section. So let's take our last break. While I try to solve this goddamn Rubik's Cube I'm working on, listen to these words from our sponsors. Imagine billing day being the happiest day of the month instead of the day you dread. Nobody went to law school because they love drafting invoices for clients. At TimeSolve, our attorneys save on average over 8 hours a month in billing work. That means more billable time and turning billing day into happy day. Learn more about how to get to your time and billing happy place at timesolve.com. That's www.timesolv, leave off the e.com. Remember, that's timesolv.com. Your legal work requires your full attention. So how can you build lasting relationships with new or existing clients while juggling your caseload? Try Abby Connect, the friendly, highly trained, and motivated live receptionists who are well known for providing consistent quality customer service and support to law firms just like yours. Every connection matters. So call Abby Connect today at 833-ABBY-WOW to get started with your free 14-day trial and $95 off your first bill. By the way, I'm really enjoying exploring the video studio space. Perhaps we can get a Poland Spring sponsorship at some point down the line. Hello, Poland Spring. I'm in Massachusetts. You're in Maine. Talk to me. But now let's get back to the show. Thank you for coming back. You just heard from our real sponsors, maybe our future sponsor, Poland Spring Bottled Water and Seltzer. We're still here talking with Sam Mollaei of Mollaei Law, who's telling us all about marketing funnels for law firms. So let's find out more. So there's this concept as well, Sam, that's I think relatively new for a lot of lawyers, which is retargeting or remarketing. Can you talk about what that is?
Yeah, so it's the lowest hanging fruit that any lawyer can do. So if you do any kind of promotion, it doesn't matter how you do it, people are checking you out on your website. They're Googling your name. By the way, if you don't realize this, all your clients and all your prospects Google you, like without a doubt. So I would say like 80-90% do. So make sure that your website looks decent. And then where retargeting comes into play is that you need to be able to tell people who have checked you out, who show some interest in you, to come back and to become your client or at least your lead. So what you do practically is you set up Facebook retargeting campaigns where basically your audience is only your website visitors. And you're saying basically, hey, I know you checked out my website. How can I help you? Here, go to this booking link and book a time with me. It's the easiest thing that lawyers can do. It's the easiest marketing that anyone could do. And if you're not doing this, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. It's as simple as putting up a video or putting up some testimonials. I do this extensively, and I would say a lot of my clients come through retargeting.
Yeah, and I think part of the issue for lawyers is that, like, they've got to figure out the messaging for each of these marketing channels, because the messaging is slightly different, right? The message on a retargeting page is a little bit different from the message on a landing page. And I think lawyers struggle with that, like building out different kinds of content for different kinds of pipelines.
And you could actually kind of sort that out in Facebook. You could say, hey, people who, let's just say I have 4 different services. So you could tell Facebook, hey, Facebook, anybody who has been on these specific pages about this specific service, then show them this specific video. And, there's like different marketing channels, and they're all being kind of directed different videos based on the pages that they've been on.
Right. And again, as we talked about before, like part of this is pushing traffic in the right directions, and then part of it is converting. So for lawyers in particular, like how should they buttress any retargeting efforts they make by improving their intake procedures? Because even if you retarget effectively, you still have to eventually convert, right?
Yeah. The whole point of the retargeting is to convert your current people that are most interested in you. So yeah, if you haven't captured the email address, you're going to be sending them to the landing page. And you can also set up another retargeting campaign that says, hey, these are people who are my leads, but they haven't become clients yet. So that could be a different retargeting video.
Nice. And then we funnel into the nurture campaign. Hey, there's like a whole system in place here. Did you do this on purpose?
Yeah, pretty much. I kind of conceptualized this kind of concept, and I've done it for myself. And I'm, exploring doing this, kind of creating built for you kind of campaigns for lawyers that lawyers can replicate the same exact funnel that I created for myself for themselves. It'll be kind of like a plug and play kind of a way to be able to do this for your own law firm.
Right. So the legal funnels is essentially like the brand that you're providing to attorneys. Cool. So if you want to market like Sam, that's where you go, right?
Yeah. If anybody's interested in these kind of virtual law model or generating clients online, get in contact with me. I'll be happy to share more information with you, or I'll be able to share kind of my legal funnels with you.
Cool. And we're going to give you an opportunity to give people some links to go to, including your Facebook page, I think, which is cool as well later on. But you want to have a little bit of fun. I've got one last segment I want to run through with you. Are you ready?
Sure. Yeah.
So this is a segment I call that social media post that you forgot about. Here, I read back an old social media post of yours and you comment on it. Are you ready?
Let's do it. I'm so excited.
Good. Good. That was mostly rhetorical. I was going to do it anyway. So from your Facebook account on July 16th, 2017, you linked to an article that referenced the following fact. I thought this was interesting. A duckling takes anyone it sees most often during the first 10 minutes after birth for its mother. So that explains to me like every greeting card that was ever made, like a duckling with a puppy, a duckling with like an elephant. So in your opinion, what would be like the weirdest duckling mother pairing? I've got 3 options for you, and then you can also create your own. A duckling and an elephant, a duckling and Mike Trout. See, I did like a whole animal thing there. And a duckling and cousin Oliver from the Brady Bunch. Or can you think of an even weirder duckling mother pairing? I think this is a good note to end on. No pressure. You were totally expecting this, right?
Totally not. I'm sorry.
That's why we do this segment. Look at that natural reaction. We totally didn't rehearse this, right?
Totally as natural as it gets. I guess I would go with duckling and an elephant.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. That's a safe bet.
I mean, whatever floats your boat, anything that you feel like you could do.
I feel like this turned into a Reddit AMA, but we got through it. So that's where we're going to end it. We've reached the end of yet another episode of the Legal Toolkit podcast. This was the podcast about creating law firm marketing funnels, and we've been talking with Sam Mollaei of Mollaei Law. Now, I'll be back on future shows with further insights into my soul, the soul of America, and the legal market. If you're feeling nostalgic for my dulcet tones, however, you can check out our entire show archive anytime you want at LegalTalkNetwork.com. So thanks again to Sam Mollaei of Mollaei Law for making an appearance as my guest today. So Sam, can you tell everybody how they can find out more about you, your law practice, and how you help lawyers to create marketing funnels?
Sure. So you could visit me at legalfunnel.com, or you can email me at sam@legalfunnel.com. I do have a Facebook group also for lawyers called Legal Funnel Members. Just search for it on Facebook. You'll be able to find it. Pretty much I'm adding my goal in the next 6 to 12 months is to add as much value as I can to lawyers, to be able to teach and empower lawyers to how to create legal funnels, and run a virtual law firm the same way I did, in an automated and a scalable way. So if you're interested in that, find me anyway, website, Facebook group, or email.
Nice. All right, everybody, talk to this man. This is Sam Mollaei of Mollaei Law, finally. Thanks to all of you out there for listening. This has been the Legal Toolkit Podcast, where our favorite Pixar movie is Cars 2. Actually scratched out, that movie sucks.
Thanks for listening to Legal Toolkit, produced by the broadcast professionals at Legal Talk Network. Join host Jared Correia for his next podcast covering the current business trends for law firms. If you'd like more information about today's show, please visit LegalTalkNetwork.com. Subscribe via iTunes and RSS. Find Legal Talk Network on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Or download the free app from Legal Talk Network in Google Play and iTunes. The views expressed by the participants of this program are their own and do not represent the views of, nor are they endorsed by, Legal Talk Network, its officers, directors, employees, agents, representatives, shareholders, and subsidiaries. None of the content should be considered legal advice. As always, consult a lawyer.